For years, one rumor in the photography world has refused to fade away: the elusive Nikon Z90. It's a name that keeps resurfacing across forums, communities, and rumor hubs, often greeted with the same mix of nostalgia, excitement, and impatience. Many Nikon fans have spent years refreshing websites or clicking on every supposed leak, hoping this will finally be the moment when their long-awaited APS-C powerhouse steps out of the shadows. Yet as we move toward the end of 2025, the Nikon Z90 remains nothing more than an echo, talked about constantly, but never officially acknowledged. Every passing quarter brings us the same cycle: new whispers, fresh speculation, alleged insider tips, and even confidently presented spec sheets that somehow always dissolve into vague predictions. But Nikon itself? Completely silent. And sometimes silence communicates more than any announcement. To understand why the Nikon Z90 has become such a source of frustration, you have to rewind to a different era entirely: the days of the DSLR. Back then, Nikon's D500 wasn't just another APS-C model, it was a symbol of everything Nikon stood for. Durability, precision, professional-grade autofocus, high-speed shooting, and unmatched performance for sports and wildlife, all packed into a crop sensor system that didn't require the financial commitment of full-frame gear. Photographers who specialized in action and wildlife adored the D500. It struck a perfect balance: strong enough for demanding fieldwork, compact enough for travel, and fast enough to keep up with any fast-moving subject. For Nikon users, it represented a pinnacle of APS-C engineering. When Nikon introduced the mirrorless Z system, many assumed that a D500 successor, reborn for the Z mount, would naturally follow. But instead of a rugged, high-end APS-C model, Nikon launched the Z50, a lightweight, casual camera aimed at hobbyists and content creators. After that came the ZFC, a nostalgic, retro-styled body that attracted plenty of attention but remained firmly in the enthusiast category. Throughout all of this, fans clamored for a professional-grade DX body. Rumors began calling this hypothetical camera the Z80, then the Z90, a spiritual mirrorless successor to the D500 that would fill the APS-C performance gap in Nikon's lineup. But as the months turned into years, Nikon's actual product decisions didn't align with these expectations. Meanwhile, competitors didn't wait. Canon stepped into the APS-C mirrorless space with the EOS R7, a fast, capable, and highly competitive crop sensor body. Fujifilm, already the leader in APS-C, continued expanding its lineup with powerful models like the X-H2S and the X-T5. These brands gave photographers real options. During that same period, Nikon focused heavily on full-frame development, launching major hits like the Z9, Z8, and the ZF, along with a growing line of professional FX lenses. The longer Nikon concentrated on full frame, the more the Nikon Z90 began to feel less like a future product and more like a collective wish. Part of what fuels the dream, however, is the rumored specification list circulating around the Nikon Z90. Enthusiasts imagine a camera equipped with a high-resolution APS-C sensor, somewhere around 33 megapixels, powered by Nikon's latest X-Speed processing engine. Burst shooting speeds between 15 and 20 frames per second appear frequently in predictions, as does oversampled 4K video at 60 FPS, full HD at up to 180 FPS, and in-body image stabilization, something that no Nikon DX body has ever offered. Fans imagine a rugged, compact body with dual card slots, a large tilting touchscreen, and an autofocus system derived from the Z9's advanced subject recognition technology. If such a camera became reality, it would be a true evolution of the D500, maybe even its superior in every way. But there's a recurring problem. Each year, these rumors make their rounds, building excitement. And each year, Nikon releases something entirely different: another high-end lens, another full-frame model, another firmware update for existing Z cameras. The Z90 remains stuck in rumor limbo. Nikon's recent sales promotions have added even more doubt, with large discounts on APS-C gear hinting not at expansion, but a possible phase-out of DX priorities. And yet, logically speaking, the existence of a Nikon Z90 would make sense. Nikon currently has a noticeable gap between the entry-level Z50/ZFC and the professional Z8. A camera like the Z90, fast, capable, and positioned for advanced enthusiasts, could sit perfectly between them. For wildlife and sports photographers who don't require a full-frame sensor, an APS-C system offers a major advantage. The crop factor gives lenses extended reach without the weight, cost, or bulk of full-frame telephoto setups. A 400mm lens behaving like a 600mm equivalent could dramatically expand shooting possibilities while keeping the gear manageable. If Nikon paired a Z90 with a few professional DX telephoto primes, the system could become extremely attractive to a currently underserved demographic. But that logic clashes with reality. Nikon's financial strategy has been clear for years now: full frame is the priority. Their internal briefings consistently emphasize FX development, innovation, and expansion. They rarely highlight APS-C beyond casual or beginner-level models. In Nikon's viewpoint, the APS-C market is shrinking. On one end, smartphones dominate beginners. On the other, professionals and serious enthusiasts increasingly look to full frame for better performance and lens compatibility. This leaves APS-C in a precarious middle ground. For Nikon, producing a camera like the Z90 would require positioning it as a durable, fast, feature-rich body. But that could put it dangerously close to competing with the Z8, a camera that is already selling extremely well and represents a significant profit center for Nikon. Why create a cheaper alternative that might cannibalize your own high-end sales? Then there's the lens ecosystem issue. Nikon's DX lineup is, frankly, sparse. The Z50 and ZFC rely heavily on adapted FX lenses or kit zooms. Without a diverse, specialized collection of DX telephoto lenses, wide primes, or professional-grade zooms, the Nikon Z90 would be handicapped from day one. A high-performance APS-C camera makes little sense if users are forced to pair it with heavy, expensive full-frame glass that defeats the purpose of buying into a smaller sensor system. And even if Nikon decided to build the Z90, the cost of producing a fast, stacked, or even partially stacked, APS-C sensor would be substantial. Using a cheaper sensor would undermine the very characteristics that a D500 successor needs, such as fast readout, reduced rolling shutter, and high burst shooting capability. From a business perspective, the financial risk may outweigh the reward. Timing is another challenge. The D500 was discontinued in 2022, leaving a role that has remained unfilled for years. During that gap, Canon and Fujifilm strengthened their positions in the APS-C market. If Nikon launches the Z90 now, it enters an environment where it must fight for relevance rather than lead. It would be introducing a camera into a landscape where its competitors already have established systems, strong lens support, and a loyal user base. Analysts who speculate about pricing estimate the Nikon Z90 would need to land somewhere around $1,500 to $2,000, more expensive than entry-level models, but still far below the Z8. That seems fair, but at that price point, the Z90 competes directly with Canon's R7 and Fuji's X-H2, two cameras supported by robust, mature ecosystems. To win buyers at that level, Nikon would need not only great specs but also a convincing long-term strategy for APS-C. A camera alone isn't enough. Customers invest in an ecosystem, not a single body. The most heartbreaking part is that Nikon's fans aren't asking for unrealistic miracles. Wildlife shooters, D500 loyalists, and longtime Nikon users are asking for continuity. They want Nikon to continue the legacy it once dominated. So, will we see the Nikon Z90 anytime soon? Based on everything available today, the answer leans heavily toward no. Perhaps one day Nikon will surprise everyone with a dramatic revival of the D500 spirit. But for now, the Nikon Z90 remains exactly where it has always been, a compelling rumor suspended in time, cherished by many, confirmed by none.